Hello, my lovelies. Well, as you can see, I got my Weight Watchers pedometer on, counting my steps. And I have officially hit 139 pounds. So from last year up until this year, I have gained about 7 pounds. And I'm not too mad about that at all. I won't say I'm enjoying it, but I still work out. I just recently went back to some of my healthier habits, and that's kind of limiting my processed foods. But I've just been to a point where I don't want to be obsessive over every little crumb I put in my mouth. But at the same time, I still am aware that I care. Some people, it's like either they go from one extreme to the other. Well, I don't care. And then they end up being big as a house, um, in terms of just being obese. They end up being bigger than they want because they either have to say, I don't care, or they either have to obsess. But there's a middle ground. To say I don't care to me is kind of illogical because you do care. I think the right phrase would be, I'm tired of obsessing. But don't go to the point where you don't care, because then you'll get in trouble, because people who don't care about anything make a mess of their lives. So I had actually said it myself, like, I don't care. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with worrying about my weight. I'm fed up with, and oh, just side note, I did put my weave back in. I told you I love a weave. But no, I put my weave back in because I was curling my hair too much, and I did start experiencing some breakage. And I think also I was a little stressed out from school, so, all of that contributed. But back to the subject. So, it's like, that's how I actually got to 145 pounds from 130. So with that I don't care phrase translated into my heart, because I love to eat. So I started not caring for real, but I still cared consciously. So it made me sad at the same time. So I had to admit to myself that I truly care about my body. I truly care about my weight. I truly care about how I look. I care about how I treat myself. I care about what I look like and how I feel. Not just what I look like, because when you eat the wrong foods, you feel like you got a hangover. If you have an extreme binge, you will wake up and feel like you did, if you've had some drinks and you had a hangover from some liquor. Like I used to have a couple of drinks in my day when I was a little younger, and you will wake up with this headache, or you can't really, you're foggy. Well, you can get the same thing from food, a food hangover. So I started experiencing that again, and I didn't like the way my gut started feeling, the indigestion. So I had to admit, I care about how I look. I care about how I feel. So I slowly but surely started leaning back towards some of my healthier habits. To me, the best thing to do when you're transitioning from the I don't care phase is to not go on another eating disorder, all of these different fad diets, but it's really gravitating towards more organics. And I'm not talking about organic foods like, this is grown organically. I'm talking about more whole foods, like fruit instead of apple pie, apple. If you want juice, the light juice, like I love Minute Maid 15 calorie. Even though it's a drink, it's not really a juice, but it still gives you that fix. And then eating more whole grains, and still having the things that make you feel like you're not restricting yourself too much. So for me, I did put on the 15 pounds, but then now I'm back under 140 because I had to realize I care, but I'm not to the point again where I'm just so cute, but I'm so unhappy. I'm 130, 125 pounds, but I am a pregnant dog to be around. You know that phrase. Okay, that's no fun. That's no fun. I would rather be 140 and happy than 125 and miserable. But I still have a goal, but it's just to say that you have to consider your happiness also. So don't go so restrictive. Wean yourself off of the unhealthy lifestyle. Don't go into the point where you're like, I am in rehab. No, if you're used to eating junk food all day, every day, McDonald's, sausage biscuits, hash browns and pancakes, and then you're having KFC for lunch, and then little hot ready for dinner, and then the vending machine, and then it's in your overload. You actually believe. Of course, anything is possible with God. All things are possible. But in your natural self, you believe that your body will allow you to go from having all of that every day of your life for years or months or even weeks, and then you can actually one day wake up and eat 1,500 calories, whole foods, and not be irritated. You have to accept that. You're going to be irritated because your body is used to a certain type of food. Food have chemicals they release inside of us. And guess what? It is just as addictive to feel bad as it is to feel good. So if your body is used to feeling horrible and you start feeling good, your body, it will want to feel bad because it's used to feeling bad. If you're used to feeling groggy and tired and you're used to laying down, which, by the way, laying down kind of relieves boredom. A lot of lazy people always sleep. Why? Because when they don't, they get bored. And they feel like they don't want to work out. They don't want to do this. They don't want to be adventurous. So they lay down. That is an activity in itself. And we all should do it, but don't overindulge in it. So if you're used to being a person who always laying down, you're always feeling stuffed, and then now you're eating all this healthy food, you have all this energy, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? You're going to be angry because you don't have anything planned. You don't have a routine, exercise routine. You don't have anything you're doing with your life. Your life is still empty. You don't have activities filled in that space where you used to lay down and be lazy. So first of all, get a plan. If you're going to change your life, understand food and addiction to food is there to fill in the spaces of unfulfillment. So you can't expect to change your diet and not have activities that suffice you. You have to have activities that coincide with healthy eating, just like you had activities that coincided with unhealthy eating. So for me, I never stopped working out, and I believe that's why even though I put on 10 pounds, I still have some definition because regardless of what I ate, I still was in that gym. You can't give up everything. If you backslide on the eating, you have to make sure you're still working out. If you backslide on the working out, you have to make sure you're eating clean or you're just going to be a mess. Okay? So that's what I was experiencing, just a big old mess, but by the phrase, I don't care. First, admit you care. Feel what it feels to care. Make a plan. Say, okay, I'm going to work out one day this week and I'm going to, slowly but surely wean this off. Don't go into overhaul and you're going to have all of these withdrawals. Take it slow, step by step, or you're going to be a very, very terrible person to be around. And it's so much fun to laugh. So you would rather be that person who may have an extra 10 pounds on them or 20 pounds and happy than that person who thinks they look so cute and don't nobody want to be around them. No, choose to be both. Choose to be happy with yourself and a joy to be around. But if you have to choose one right now, choose to be a joy because the joy gives you strength to live your life. But to be unhappy, you may be cute right now, but that misery is going to make you something you don't want to be. And that's what it made me. A very unhappy person creates unhappy situations. So that's and I didn't want this to be a preaching session. I never intended on that, but I guess I had a lot on my mind. Oh, thanks for listening. This is LaShonda signing out saying, be happy with yourself. It's so much easier to deal with and plan out your life. A man who ponders his steps is far from the snares and the traps of the enemy.